Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live session. Another one on this beautiful Saturday here in the UK. Hello, everyone. Hi, good to see you. Today, we're going to be working on grammar. And because it was about 2 weeks ago when we worked on the preterite, today we're going to do imperfect. So a lot of you have asked me about imperfect and what is the difference between preterite. It's very subtle, but hola Hazel, good morning, buenos dias, good morning. Julia, buenos dias, good morning, good to see you guys. So it's very subtle, as I was saying, because both tenses, preterite and imperfect, they're in the past. But today I just want us to focus on the imperfect. Now, the reason why is called imperfect is as here it is because there is this notion of that is not completed. Yes, it is in the past and it's finished, but it is not completed, whereas it's because of an interruption or a change, a condition. So there's always this idea of changing. So that is why we call it imperfect. And today we're going to be working on it. Again, hello, good morning, good to see you. So let's going to start right away with the use of the imperfect. Cuando lo usamos? When do we use it? We're going to work with three options today. The first one is with past habits and repeated actions. So as you can see, we have the noun and then we have the past. It is completed, there is an ending, but it was a habit. So there was this idea of flow in the past. So past habits and repeated actions, we always use imperfect. And we have an example. En Barcelona, salía mucho de noche. En Barcelona, yo salía mucho de noche, o ella, etcétera, o él. Number two, use number two. Actions happening in the past before being interrupted. Ejemplo, mi hermano cocinaba la cena cuando se abrió la ventana. So my brother was cooking cooking dinner when the window opened. So you see, an action happening in the past and it was interrupted. So that is one of the key uses of the imperfect. So that ese es el número dos. Número tres, use number three. Characteristics, conditions, and feelings in the past. Ejemplo, mi padre era muy alto y tenía una barba blanca muy larga. So we have two imperfects here. Mi padre era, was, muy alto, y tenía, and he had a very long white beard. So when we're talking about characteristics, physical characteristics, but it could also be emotional characteristics. So we always use imperfect. Good. So just to remember, we're going to be working on three, guys. Past habits and repeated actions. Actions being interrupted in the past. And characteristics, conditions, and feelings in the past. These are the three we're going to work on. Excellent. I'm going to give you a link on the chat to these grammar explanations so you can go to our website, and take a time for you to revise later on. Now, let's talk about terminaciones, endings. We always need to revise this. Verbos regulares, ar, ir, hablar, comprender y vivir. Yo hablaba, tú hablabas, él, ella hablaba, nosotros, nosotras hablábamos, vosotros, vosotras hablabais, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablaban. Now, with ending in ar is where you have your aba, abas, etc. And ir, as you can see, they have the same ending. Comprender, yo comprendía, tú comprendías, él, ella, usted comprendía, nosotros, nosotras comprendíamos, vosotros, vosotras comprendíais, ellos, ellas, ustedes comprendían. Ir, yo vivía, tú vivías, él, ella, usted vivía, nosotros, nosotras vivíamos, vosotros, vosotras vivíais, ellos, ellas, ustedes vivían. Now, irregulares. The good news, guys, is that there are only 3 irregular verbs in imperfect. That's it. No more. So that is definitely good news. We have the verb ser and ir. I would say like the most important ones are ser and ir because those change completely. The reason why ver is considered to be irregular in imperfect is because we don't get rid of that e in that er. So we keep that e, veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, veían. But as you can see, the ending, they're the same as the previous ones. Now, focus on the ser and ir. Yo era, tú eras, él, ella, usted era, nosotros, nosotras éramos, vosotros, vosotras erais, ellos, ellas, ustedes eran. Ir, yo iba, tú ibas, él, ella, usted iba, nosotros, nosotras íbamos, vosotros, vosotras ibais, ellos, ellas, ustedes iban. So here they are. Now, let's go to our quiz. Time to revise, time to practice. We will revise, as always, the correct use, the correct conjugation. So, remember, like sometimes I try to trick you, with the endings and the conjugation. So be careful with that. And the correct pronunciation. Words that I would say they are a bit tricky or difficult, we would repeat them. Good. So let's get into it. Number 1. Correcto o incorrecto. Antes, Manuel no usó una computadora en su trabajo. Antes, Manuel no usó una computadora en su trabajo. Remember, you can type your answers on the chat. You can tell me whether you think it's correcto or incorrecto, or you can give me the answer. That will be even better if you typed the answer. Whereas, oh yeah, I'm focused on that verb, usó. We have our first answers. Julia, incorrecto, and Hazel is betting for incorrecto. Y Carrie, muy bien, Carrie, tenemos la respuesta usaba. B es incorrecto, and the correct answer would be usaba. Antes Manuel no usaba una computadora en su trabajo. And we're talking about past habits and repeated actions. In this case, repeated actions. And the key word is antes. We're talking about what he used to do before. Excellent. Muy bien, chicos. Number 2. Mi familia y yo casi todos los días en la piscina. Mi familia y yo casi todos los días en la piscina. We have 3 options. Nadaban, nadaba, nadábamos. Mi familia y yo. Excelente, Lynn. Good morning, Lynn. Good to see you. C. Karen, nadábamos. Carrie, nadábamos. Julia, nadábamos. Muy bien, chicos. Mi familia y yo nadábamos casi todos los días en la piscina. And this is definitely a past habit and repeated actions. Good. Muy bien, Hazel. Nadábamos. I love that you guys are using your accents, the stress. That is really important. 3. Completa la frase. Y dígame, por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover. Y dígame, por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover. 3 opciones. ¿Caminabas por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover? ¿Caminaba por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover? ¿Caminabais por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover? What do you guys think? So, a clue, remember that sometimes I try to trick you. A clue would be that dígame. Dígame. So, who are we talking to? We have our answers. Karen says caminabas. Carrie, caminabas. Julia is betting for caminabas as well. Hazel, caminabas. Right. Actually, the answer in this one would be B, caminaba. And why? Let's see. Y dígame, caminaba por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover. So as I said, the key is in that dígame, because we're talking to usted. Remember, usted, we have the use of usted and tú. If it was tú, it would say y dime, dime, caminabas por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover. So in this case, we're using usted. Y dígame, usted caminaba por la ciudad cuando comenzó a llover. So that's it. And of course, it's an action happening in the past before being interrupted. In this case, by the rain, por la lluvia. Muy bien, seguimos. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Ellas vivían en Marbella cuando ganaron el Gordo de Navidad. Ellas vivían en Marbella cuando ganaron el Gordo de Navidad. El Gordo de Navidad, remember, is that yearly lottery for Christmas that could be up to, in this case, 4 million euros. 4 millones de euros. That's really a lot. ¿Qué tenemos? What do we have? Do you guys think is correcto or incorrecto? Julia says correcto. Hazel says incorrecto. Carrie, correcto. Carolyn, good morning, Carolyn, correcto. Lynn, correcto. Y en este caso, in this case, it is correcto. Sí, Hazel, muy bien. Dice Hazel, sí, correcto. Ellas vivían en Marbella cuando ganaron el Gordo de Navidad. And this use is actions happening in the past before being interrupted. This one is interesting because, sometimes when we start analyzing the sentences, or I would say overanalyzing, we would say, okay, yeah, but they still live in Marbella. I mean, it wasn't interrupted. So you have to get the idea that it's not interrupted as the action itself, like the physical action, but it is interrupted for a moment of something happening, something new happening during that period of time. So they didn't stop living in Marbella. It's just something that happened while they were living there. So in this case is correcto. Muy bien. Correcto o incorrecto. We have another one. El pueblo antes fue muy pequeño, pero gracias al turismo ha cambiado mucho. So I didn't give you the verb here if you think it's incorrect. I would like you to try to find it and correct it. El pueblo antes fue muy pequeño, pero gracias al turismo ha cambiado mucho. So if you think is incorrect, what is the word that needs to be changed? If you think is correct, we'll just type down correct. Oh, we have our first answer. Karen it says era. Hazel, era. Muy bien, chicas. Excellent. Muy bien, Julia. Incorrecto era. Carrie, tenemos eras. En este caso es incorrecto. And we're using era. El pueblo antes era muy pequeño, pero gracias al turismo ha cambiado mucho. And in this case, we're talking about characteristics, conditions, and feelings in the past. So in this, I mean, specifically characteristics or conditions. Excellent. This is actually when we also say that the imperfect, we use it when we want to narrate the past, when we are describing the past. So that is a key word to know. You know, every time you are describing or narrating something about the past, we would favor the use of the imperfect. Excellent. Completa la frase. En 2008, Josefa, muy bien chino, pero creo que ya lo olvidó. En 2008, Josefa, muy bien chino, pero creo que ya lo olvidó. Three options. Hablaban, hablaba, hablabas. Tenemos la primera respuesta. Carrie está con hablaba. Josefa hablaba. Len B. Julia B. Karen hablaba. Hazel hablaba. Carolyn hablaba. Definitivamente, definitely, this is hablaba. Ella hablaba. Él hablaba. Excellent. So when we learn these conjugations, I would say most of the time is about yo hablaba, and él o ella hablaba. So well done, guys, for remembering this. Past habits and repeated actions. 7. Completa la frase. I like this one. Cuando los marineros, que una tormenta era inminente, buscaban refugio. Cuando los marineros, que una tormenta era inminente, buscaban refugio. 3 opciones, 3 options. Veían, esperaban, sobrevivían. Cuando los marineros, que una tormenta era inminente, buscaban refugio. So we have Karen telling us, esperaban, cuando los marineros esperaban. Pam, tenemos la A, cuando los marineros veían que la tormenta, que una tormenta era inminente, buscaban refugio. Y tenemos, muy bien, Carolyn, veían y veían. That is our answer, guys. Veían. Cuando los marineros veían que una tormenta era inminente, buscaban refugio. Now, pronunciation, refugio. Remember that sound, that sound, refugio y veían. So remember that we don't say veían, we say veían. No difference between the B and the V. Entonces, refugio y veían. Muy bien. Continuamos. Oh yeah, and this is a past habit and repeated actions. This is like a general habit, because sometimes we have personal habits, what you used to do when you were a child or younger, but also a tradition or a habit of a place, or, you know, or a general knowledge kind of habit. But good. Correcto o incorrecto. 8. En la primaria odiaba las matemáticas. En la primaria odiaba las matemáticas. What do you guys think? Is this correcto o incorrecto? En la primaria odiaba las matemáticas. Kind of a true story. Well, for me, in any case. What do we have? Correcto, incorrecto. Oh, and this is the verb odiar, of course, which is the opposite of amar. We have our answers. Hazel says correcto. Len correcto. Julia correcto. Terry correcto. And you are all correct. Correcto. En la primaria odiaba las matemáticas. Muy bien, es correcto. Y this is correct. This is a feeling. The verb odiar, to hate. Of course, we're talking about feelings in the past, so we would favor the use of the imperfect as well. Excellent. 9. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Again. Lola y Alberto tienen el pelo rubio, pero ahora Alberto es calvo y Lola es muy canosa. Keyword, if you didn't know that one, canosa is the adjective for gray-haired. Lola y Alberto tienen el pelo rubio, pero ahora Alberto es calvo y Lola es muy canosa. Is this correcto o incorrecto? If you think is incorrecto, please type down the answer. You know, push yourselves a bit. That's always a good idea. What do we have? Tenemos Hazel, tenían, Carrie, tenían, Karen, tenían, Julia, incorrecto, Lynn, incorrecto, tenían, incorrecto. Well done, guys. So this is incorrecto. Incorrecto, and we have Lola y Alberto tenían el pelo rubio, pero ahora Alberto es calvo y Lola es muy canosa. And of course, this is characteristics. Characteristics change, as the color of the hair in this case. So that's why it is considered to be imperfect in the past. Good. Really well done. Moving on. Completa la frase. 10. El grupo, el manglar, cuando vieron un ave muy extraña. El grupo, el manglar, cuando vieron un ave muy extraña. A. Exploraban. B. Exploraba. C. Explorábamos. So, what do we have for this one? Karen is betting for exploraba. Carrie exploraba. Lynn exploraba. Facebook user exploraba. Exploraba para Hazel. Y Julia exploraba también. Excellent, guys. So the answer for this one is exploraba. As you know, you have the subject el grupo, even if it's a group of people, but it's still singular, such as family and manada, all these kind of words. El manglar, the mangrove. I like that ecosystem, so that's why I used it. El grupo exploraba el manglar cuando vieron un ave extraña. And of course, we're talking about actions happening in the past before being interrupted. Very good. Continuamos. Completa la frase. Laura siempre el tren de las 5:30 para visitar a sus padres. So here, how do we conjugate that verb? We have the verb in infinitive, and we're talking about imperfect. So, Laura siempre el tren de las 5:30 para visitar a sus padres. What do we have? So, Carrie tomaba, Lynn tomaba, Hazel tomaba, Julia tomaba, Karen tomaba, Carolyn tomaba. And you guys are all correct. Tomaba. Laura siempre tomaba el tren de las 5:30 para visitar a sus padres. Just a quick to remind you guys that para, always remember para visitar. When you talk about the objective of something, we use para with that infinitive, para visitar a sus padres. Excellent. And we're talking about past habits, of course, and repeated actions. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Recuerdo que vosotros no comían carne. ¿Todavía son vegetarianos? Recuerdo que vosotros no comían carne. ¿Todavía son vegetarianos? Is this correct? Is this incorrect? If you think it's incorrect, please type down the answer. Recuerdo que vosotros no comían carne. ¿Todavía son vegetarianos? So we have comíais. We have an answer from Karen, Carrie, comíais. And you guys are absolutely correct. Muy bien, Hazel. Comíais igual. Excellent. Incorrecto. And the correct answer would be, recuerdo que vosotros no comíais carne. ¿Todavía son vegetarianos? Good. And this is a past habit in the past, the habit of being vegetarian. Excellent. We're about to finish. Let's do number 13. Correcto o incorrecto. Ellos iban mucho a París de niños. Ellos iban mucho a París de niños. This should be New York, Nueva York, but let's stick with Paris. Why not? Ellos iban mucho a París de niños. So is this correct or incorrect? Ellos, Julia, we have iban, she says. Gary, iban. Hazel, iban. Karen, iban. Lynn, iban. Carolyn, iban. That is correct. That is our answer. Ellos iban mucho a París de niños. Excelente. Well done. Completa la frase. Let's do this one. Antes de dormir, yo, obras de Agatha Christie. Antes de dormir, yo, obras de Agatha Christie. What do we have? So we have the verb in infinitive. How do we conjugate this verb? Antes de dormir, yo, obras de Agatha Christie. We have our answers. Let me see. We have Karen says leía. Carrie leía. Hazel leía. Karen leía. Julia leía. Carolyn, Lynn, muy bien. Maite says leo. Leía. So that is our answer, guys. Leía. Antes de dormir, yo leía obras de Agatha Christie. Excellent. And we're talking about, of course, past habits and repeated actions in the past. Well done. And this is our last exercise about the imperfect. We're really well done, guys. So, just like a quick summary of what we did, I would like you to focus on these 3 usages of the imperfect. Every time you talk about a habit or something that was repeating in the class, we have to use imperfect. Something that is interrupted in the past as well. You have to use imperfect. Now, remember, it doesn't have to be physically interrupted. It could be something that was happening, and then, oops, another action happens, such as the lottery. I mean, you still lived in Marbella, but it just happened to win the lottery. And of course, as well, the number three, what is it? Oh, thank you, Karen. Excellent class. Thank you for explaining. No problem at all. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. And number three, feelings and conditions, of course, and characteristics. When we talk about characteristics in the past as well, I mean, we have to use imperfect. So I think if you focus on these three, that would be great, to have them in mind every time you use them. I will give you the link again on the chat so you can go to our website and check these rules. Also, if you are new, my name is Carlos already and introduced myself at the beginning. But we also have trial lessons if you would like to go there. And if you have any questions, please let me know on the chat, or if you can send me a private message as well on Facebook. We're always online. And yes, let me see. De nada, Lynn, de nada. Muchas gracias por venir. Hazel, gracias, Hazel. Muy útil. I'm glad that you find these lessons very useful. I really like them. I think it's a great way, to start our day, our Saturday, with some Spanish. Good. Guys, so if you're new, go to the website, check it out, and let me see. Oh, Hazel, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Hazel. Uh, so yes, go to the website, check our lessons. And if you have any questions, of course, I can also send you a private message to give you some news, to give you some information about what we do. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for coming every Saturday. It's always a joy to see you in class. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to finish today, and I wish you a great Saturday. Today is a sunny Saturday here in the UK. So, take advantage of it. Go out, have a walk, y nos vemos en la siguiente clase. See you next class, guys. Have a great day.